happening this weekend as they continue their mission to empower and transform survivors of domestic violence. The Foundation Smooth announcing their fourth annual Pretty Scars into Stars initiative dedicated to helping women, survivors of domestic violence, rediscover their inner power and outer beauty. The organization founded and also the CEO by Sabrina Greenlee, who is also, as many of y'all know, the mother of NFL superstar DeAndre Hopkins, formerly with the Houston Texans. Sabrina joining us live now. Sabrina, thanks so much for your time this morning. If you would, just talk a little bit about your foundation, what it's all about, and the event specifically happening this weekend here in the Bayou City.
Well, thank you for having me. This Saturday, we're having 20 amazing women that are formerly survivors of domestic violence, and we are pampering them and showering them with a lot of love. And we're doing it first at Paul Mitchell, and then we're moving on to a venue at the Heights here in Houston, where we will have them a a nice dinner and a scripted program. We just want to pour into these ladies this Saturday and show them that no matter what you've been through, whether it's trauma, PTSD, we love you and we appreciate you.
And again, that will be this weekend at the Heights Villa, 3:30 to 6 o'clock this Saturday afternoon. Sabrina, your own story here, I know many people may not, though many people do, certainly a powerful one. Can you speak to sort of how domestic violence has played a role in your life and really led you to create and get behind this foundation here in Houston?
Yes, well, domestic violence has plagued my life, my family for many years, but I am set on breaking the cycle of domestic violence and making sure that my story, which I'm legally blind, 17% of my body burned, 20 years now that I've been dealing with domestic violence and this brutal attack on my life, but I've turned it around and I want people to know that there is a survival in trauma, and I want people to look at my story and be inspired by it.
And again, y'all are looking at on the screen right now the website smoothink.org, and that's with 3 O's. And again, you have the power to heal, so encourage everybody to go check that out. Sabrina, how important is it to, for one, sort of show support for domestic violence victims, survivors in the ways that you do, but also to let people know like the impact that domestic violence can have?
It's very important. I want every woman out there to know that you don't have to be paralyzed by fear, that people care. All you have to do is reach out to organizations like myself. There are many organizations, but you have to get the courage up. And we at Smooth want everyone to know that when you get the courage to get out, we want you to stay out. It is so important that you not be paralyzed by fear, but find some strength within yourself, like I did in my story, and get up and get out and stay out is very important.
Have you found that your, kind of profile and your sharing the story has helped women, has helped survivors? I don't know if you have sort of specific examples, but how much has sort of the awareness, I guess, increased in terms of domestic violence and the support and the resources in terms of what you can tell?
I think there's so much power in actually speaking up and telling your story. And I feel that we've helped thousands of women with the organization, but I myself I know that, I've inspired so many women to look at my story and be able to exemplify courage the way that I have. So I know that we've helped, but I encourage everyone to get up, tell your story, and to stand in your own truth and be inspired by your strength, because it's amazing. All you have to do is just take that first step.
I want to ask you about, of course, your son DeAndre. I know that y'all are close in terms of what Samika Knight and I were talking about earlier. Of course, our morning anchor here on ABC 13. But to kind of relate it to this, Sabrina, how those experiences that you went through, how domestic violence can really impact a whole family, and just, how DeAndre may have supported you throughout this, or how, things may have affected him and sort of that whole relationship.
Oh, absolutely. The first thing we did as a family was acknowledge that he was a survivor of domestic violence. I think it's very important that people know that children, when they are experiencing domestic violence in the home or witnessing it, that they're survivors. So I think our healing began when we acknowledged that DeAndre himself was a survivor of domestic violence. And we were able to heal from there. So it's very important that people understand that.
Yeah, and certainly we're seeing some of the publicity that's been around that. And again, the event for the Smooth Foundation, Pretty Scars into Stars, that's happening at the Heights Villa this weekend, and a lot of sponsors as well. But I want to be clear, there's also a pampering location beforehand. I mean, this is an all-day event, Sabrina, that we're looking at. Just give us the details if you would.
All day. We're picking these women up in the morning, 20 amazing survivors, as I said earlier. And we're starting at Paul Mitchell, and then we'll take them to the Heights, where we will, feed them and their children or their guests. And we want to just love on these women. We're actually also providing them with semi-formal dresses. We want to just make them feel fabulous and amazing for a day, and just shower them with love. So yes, you can come out to Paul Mitchell in the morning, where we will, you'll get a chance to see the ladies, and then of course the Heights later on Saturday night.
I'm sure you miss having DeAndre here in Houston. Does he miss being in Houston? I mean, I know he's having plenty of success out there in Arizona. Does he miss being here in the Bayou City?
We love Houston. Houston embraced us. And yes, I will say, I can't say that he doesn't miss it. And of course, I'm here now permanently, and, his siblings. So yes, and he comes quite often.
Well, certainly always near and dear to the hearts of Texas fans, and certainly Texans fans, and certainly a very important event happening this weekend with the Smooth Foundation, and I'll put it on the screen again when we get done with this conversation. Sabrina Greenlee, the CEO and founder. Sabrina, thanks so much for your time and for speaking out on this as always, and continue the good work, and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And again, there's a look at the website on the screen. You can go to smoothinc.org. That's 3 O's, smoothinc.org. You can click on the Pretty Scars into Stars. I can do it right now for us, as we can get more information there, and encourage y'all to go check that out.